Welcome to SCBWI Carolina's Book Fairies First Look. I'm your host, Mickey Bear. Today, I have the honor of welcoming picture book author Lizzie Brooks. Lizzie is a mom, yoga teacher, freelance editor, and author represented by Emily Keyes. Her debut picture book, Imperfectly Perfect Posey, received a Kirkus starred review and is a July 2026 Kirkus Book of the Month. Her work can be found in the IPPY award-winning Spinning Toward the Sun, Door Equals Jar Literary, Beyond Words Literary, Tiger Tiger, Yoga International, and more. When she's not writing, she runs a critique and author advising business where she delights in helping authors take their work to new heights. She's a member of SCBWI and Courage to Create and lives in North Carolina with her family who, despite her constant puns, still love her. Welcome, Lizzie.
Thank you so much, Mickey. I appreciate you.
Well, I am excited to get to our questions, but first, let me tell our viewers about your new release. Posey's great at almost everything, so she assumes she'll be perfect at yoga poses too. Her name is Posey, after all. But to her dismay, she can't do the poses like the other kids, so she quits. She tries to move on, but yoga won't leave her mind. One brave day, she returns and does all the poses perfectly. Just kidding. She still struggles, but this time she finds fun, connection, and joy, proving that success exists outside of perfection. We're all imperfectly perfect. What a great message. It's something that many of us need to heed. What made you decide to write Imperfectly Perfect Posey, a wobbly yoga story?
Well, I'm going to show it first, and then
Mhm.
so people can kind of get the visual. This is the book, and our amazing illustrator, Enni Heikura. She was my first choice, so I'm just over the moon to have her. I wrote this book because it's kind of twofold. One is that I've taught yoga since 2000. Now I'm doing more author stuff, so I'm not teaching quite as much, but every student of every age was like, am I doing this right? I don't know if I'm doing this right. And some people would get frustrated. And I understand that because I'm a recovering perfectionist. That's what I say. So I needed this book too. And I wanted to address more so that it's finding what feels right to you and is right in the moment. And that can change day to day. And I'd rather have people approach yoga and movement and ways to take care of their bodies in a way that's like we change we change the poses to meet our bodies rather than changing our bodies so much to meet the poses. I see a lot of people injured and things don't really feel good, and I'll say, "Well, why did you do it that way?" "Oh, well, I thought I was supposed to." Or the teacher was doing it like that, so I was trying to mimic exactly that. But we're all so very different, and our needs change as day to day. And as we get older, and when we're younger, it's different. So I wanted to approach that perfect's not the point, and you can still find a lot of wonderful things that will feed your body and soul outside of perfection.
Nice. Well, how long was it between the time you started writing seriously and the time you actually sold your first picture book?
A million years. It was very long. So I was thinking that I wrote Posey in 2018, but now I'm thinking more it was more like 2016, and then I started kind of shopping it 2018. So it is to all the writers out there, stick with it. It is the like this is very much the long game. And I think sometimes long to us feels like, oh, 3 months is long, a year is long, but I think she was written in 2016 and, coming out in 2026. So about a decade. And Posey went to acquisitions at four publishers total, and it fell through at three. And I'm really happy that it did in hindsight because I think it ended up with the right publisher, Spinning Wheel Stories, and with my favorite illustrator, Enni Heikura. So stick with it, guys. Take breaks, but come back.
So, why did you make the refrain of the book "Perfect's not the point"?
So kind of along the lines of me telling you that I am a recovering perfectionist, I have found that having a refrain, and I use this refrain all the time throughout the day, it just helps me. Like if I find a hurdle that I'm starting to really loop on and really, it just keeps, I'm like, oh, I got to do it this way. It has to be this way. If I just, you know what? Perfect's not the point. Then I'll find something to enjoy about it, even if it wasn't the way that I originally thought it would be. And that has been really helpful. And I thought it might be helpful for others as well.
What are some surprising things that happened during your publishing journey?
What is not surprising? That's the question. I think now I'm almost more surprised when things are easy because so many things in publishing are the bumpiness and where you're like, okay, that was unexpected. How am I going to navigate this? And I think that most authors who I talk to are saying like, yep. I mean, even people at Big Fives and people who are multi-published, they're like, it's never the way you think. So I think the most surprising thing in a beautiful way is that is the relationships with the community that I feel like some of my very best friends are in my community and I've never met them in person. But we're on the phone all the time. So that was really surprising. And also just, I'm trying to be really transparent with people that you can part ways with agents. You can, acquisitions can fall through, but in the end, it really is a learning process. And in the end, you sometimes end up in the best place, again, in hindsight.
So you've already given us quite a few excellent nuggets of advice, but what is your most helpful piece of advice for up and coming writers?
I think that's the community. Lean into your community. If you don't have critique partners or things like that, I would really prioritize that. And I would try to make those critique partners be in your very similar genre. I feel like that's super helpful. And then the other thing is just lean into your weird, lean into the quirky stuff that you're like, oh, I've never really seen this before, but I kind of want to say it that way. That is what will make you stand out, I think, from the pack. And then kind of controversial, but as I work with authors and I help people write pitches and stuff and work on their query materials. Sometimes going a little bit different and straying from perfect formulaic writing is what does end up bringing a breath of fresh air to an editor or an agent reading your materials on their desk. And it won't be for everybody, but if you leaned in that direction and got a little creative there, not saying not to use the formulas because they're there for a reason. You want to have all that material covered. But sometimes some of the things that I've done with my clients or myself have been what editors have said. I was reading all day and it was kind of sounding similar. And then I got to this and I went, ooh, what is that? And it was just a little more intriguing. Put in those weirder nuggets. Try something out. See what happens. Yeah, stray a little from formula sometimes.
That is great advice. What is next for you? Do you have a new project in the works?
Do I have something I can't talk about yet? But what I can talk about is in 2027, I have a spooky, silly Halloween title. And the title might change, we're not sure, but right now it's called How Halloween Almost Hallow Wasn't. So that one is coming out, and I also am so excited about the potential illustrator. As you can see, the theme is I love illustration. I wish I could do it, but I can't. But I'm so obsessed with those who can do it well. So thank you to all the illustrators who bring so much life into these books.
So, what is the best way for readers to keep up with your books, your events, everything that you're doing?
Thanks for asking. I have a website, lizziebrooksbooks.com. I get to thank my husband for the Brooks last name that goes so well because my maiden name is Panettiere, and lizziepanetiersbooks.com doesn't have the same ring to it.
Very nice.
And then I'm on, and that website lists all of my social media, but Instagram is Lizzie Brooks author. If you want to come find me there, I would love that.
Excellent. Lizzie, thank you so much for joining me today on Book Fairies First Look. And congratulations again on your release of Imperfectly Perfect Posey.
Thank you so much, McGee. I appreciate it, and thanks for everyone for coming, stopping by.